I would say the past 3 years we kind of started this journey where we started diving into audience conversations in the TV landscape. Obviously we've known it, that's how digital has been purchased, but the TV landscape was a little foreign to this. So we started diving into the audience aspect of it and kind of chipping away at it, doing it a little bit at a time. We then took it a step further and said, okay, well, it's great that if we start diving into audiences, but if the ad environment isn't ideal, then having the right audience with not such a great experience is not going to be a great connection. So we started diving into and discussing trying to reduce our commercial ad load, which we started doing with TNT and also True TV. TNT's show that just started, actually that just finished, was Animal Kingdom, and it just started having some really nice initial results. It's only the first one, but showing how we've had the commercial breaks have had very little reduction of people coming in and out of the break, which is amazing because you can see it when you look and analyze it. You can see that the break goes down and up when they come back, when the show comes back on. In Animal Kingdom's case, that didn't happen, which was amazing. So a bigger C3 lift. Unadded branded recall for the clients is up, which is amazing. And so we've been seeing little bits and pieces of some results. Good Behavior is now going to start airing on the next few weeks, and that's also going to be 50% ad reduction, so we're going to do another test on that. And then True TV is also starting this quarter. So between hopefully new programming, and I also want to look at old programming, because I don't want it to all be all new. I want to be able to look at consistent programming that's also been on, and then try to marry the results to see what the value is for the advertisers. The more value that I can connect, the better the clients will see why the premium is, part of what we're selling in the primetime space.
The metrics for value around this little shorter ad load, is that there? In terms of valuing that, the performance metrics, what do you use or what do you need, or where does that stand?
Yeah, it's hard. There's multiple metrics because, one, we have it having a higher rating. Okay, you have to determine, did the show get a higher rating because we reduced the ad loads and the experience was better, or did it do a high rating because it was just a good show? So we're trying to kind of peel the onion a little bit to find out, to really feel where the limited commercials started, creating what it started creating, which is why I said I don't want to just do it on new shows. I need to do it on existing shows. So when I do it with Impractical Jokers that have been on for multiple seasons, I'm going to now be able to compare Impractical Jokers C3 and brand awareness with stuff that's already been airing over the past few years, and that to me is then the true result of seeing how it's kind of resonating with limited stuff. But it's not just us doing it, and I actually just talked about that. NBCU announced limited commercials with SNL. Fox is reducing Nat Geo and did some stuff with Empire. Viacom reduced their prime time as well. So it can't just be a Turner initiative. The whole industry needs to kind of get and start focusing on the consumer experience in the television landscape. That will help all of us kind of raise all tides.
Is there an equation for the number of commercials in an hour that you think is optimum, or does it depend?
Yeah, it depends. Like we were making decisions on, in an hour show with 5 breaks. We're testing even, should there be 5 breaks that are shorter, or should there be 3 breaks that are longer? So we're actually trying to test with the viewer on what's resonating more. The Hulu model has shorter breaks, long but more. So we're trying to figure out what is right. Our initial inclination is 5 breaks in an hour, but with 2 minutes in each, because the next iteration is then trying to take those 2-minute pods and get out of the traditional 30-second commercials. We then want to take that environment and make that better storytelling with client messaging. And it's much easier to do it in a 1-2 minute pod than it is in a 5-minute pod. There's a lot of content right now in the digital landscape with long length viewing with 1 or 2 minute messaging, but they're not taking that messaging and translating it into linear. One, because of cost, okay, but 2, they're just not thinking about it because we're not set up that way with the pods where they can own the environment. So by making the pods shorter, we are now enabling them to take a lot better storytelling that they're already doing, and or we will create ourselves in our own content studios and start marrying the right environment and messaging to the right content.